What's up, you guys? Today we are going to be taking this wig. It is freshly washed, and so I'm going to be restyling her. I did air dry her, so she's just in need of a little bit of styling. This is our Bria unit. It's in 130% density. For those of you who are a little bit afraid of getting a wig that has like too much hair, I always recommend going with 130 density or lighter. So we're going to be restyling her because I air dried her and I never restyled her. So we're going to do that live today. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Bethany. I am a cancer survivor, a wig designer, and a licensed cosmetologist. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to first share all the tools and products that I will be using today because it's a little bit of stuff. So the first thing that I always like to use when I'm styling my wigs is a tripod, and I will link everything that I use below, so you guys can go ahead and check that out. The next thing that I'm going to recommend is a wig head. This is my favorite wig head that I've ever purchased. It is from Amazon, and everything here I'm pretty sure can be found on Amazon. It is faux leather, and the reason that I really love this is because I'm always styling my wigs, coloring them, cutting them, all the things. And so I wanted something that was water resistant that I could use daily and it wouldn't stain like typical canvas heads, or wig heads are made out of canvas. So I prefer this faux leather one. It's really easy to clean and you can put your T-pins in it, which leads me to the next thing that we're going to be needing, which are T-pins. These are going to hold the wig in place while we are styling it, and I will demonstrate that in just a second. You're also going to need some clips. These are duckbill or alligator clips. I can never remember the name, crocodile, alligator, I'm not sure. But you're going to need some clips, a brush, and a comb. This is a boar bristle brush, paddle boar bristle. I'm pretty sure I found it on Amazon. Again, I'll link everything below. I'm going to use a comb with a rat tail as well. It's really important to have a spray bottle as well. This is water, but I do have a little bit of this Pro Vitamin ApHogee leave-in conditioner. This has been such a game changer for me because not only is it a leave-in, it is also a heat protectant. It has a bunch of vitamins. It smooths, it detangles, it protects the hair from heat styling, and I believe it is also good for frizz as well. Yeah, it protects it from humidity. So this has been such a game changer for me. I dilute it and I put it in my spray bottle, my water bottle. So that's what's in here. And then I've also been using this leave-in as well. This is specifically for human hair wigs. It is a leave-in spray. It's also great for detangling, prolongs the life of your wig. It promotes silkiness, shine, body volume, and it's just great for refreshing your wig. And this is another really important thing to have when you're styling your wig. This is the 24-hour wax hair wax stick, and it's great for those little flyaways because it's, if you know, it's really common for a wig to get those little flyaways. So these are great for laying them down and for them to stay down. So this is really great for that. I'll demonstrate how to use that in just a bit. And for styling, I am going to be using a wand. This is a Paul Mitchell Pro Tools wand. I believe this is a 1/2 inch this, I believe this is a 3/4 inch barrel. I'm not too sure. It does come with a few more, but this one's my favorite. It's the one I will be using today. And I'm also going to go in with a blow dryer. I know there are so many different types of blow dryers out there, and I know it's a little more popular to use the Dyson type of air wraps and things like that, which are great. I have a similar one, but today I'm going to be using this one. This is the Babulous blow dryer, and it has the concentration nozzle. It's really important to, at least for me, to have a concentration nozzle so that I can actually control the airflow a little bit more and reduce that frizz. And I think that was everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is pin my wig to the wig head. So when it comes to a wig that already has the lace cut, I never want to put the T-pins into the front of the lace here because I want to protect the lace as much as I can. So what I do like to do is go in and put the T-pins around the sideburn area here. So I'm going to put one in there, and then I'm going to go over to this side, and then I'm going to put one on this side, and I'm going to hold the lace kind of taut. Like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that, oops, that it all stays in place while we are styling. And then I'm going to go to the back, and I'm going to put some T-pins back here. You can kind of feel around for the back of the wig cap here, and then pin the wig down like that. So I like to do one on each side. Just like that. And she is pretty secure on there. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is spray her down so we can, just so it's a little bit easier to restyle. So I'm gonna take my water with my little bit of my leave-in in there, and ooh, uh-oh, I might need to get another spray bottle. Okay, so you're gonna spray it down with a little bit of water. I like to spray it down around the hairline area because this is what we are going to be focusing on the most, is to lay that hair down nice and flat around the hairline. So I don't want to wet it too much. I just want to make it easier to style so I can get that parting space in there. So I'm going to take my comb, and I'm just going to do a middle part. You can part the wig anywhere. Our wigs are meant to be parted anywhere. So if you wanted to do a middle part, you can do a middle part like this. But if you want to do it on the side, you can also do a side part as well. But I'm just going to do a middle part for today. And as you can see, it's kind of like not really laying down that flat. So I'm just going to take some more water. And try my best to get that as flat as I can with just the water first. And you can also go in with your brush and lay it down if you need a little bit of extra tension on the hair. That's going to be really helpful too. Okay, you see how it's kind of laying down a little bit better now? And then I kind of like to have it away from the face. It's going to make the wig look a little bit more natural once it is actually on my head. And then I don't really like a super clean, perfect part, because most of the time natural hair has a part that is not perfect, and my goal is always to make my wigs look as natural as possible. So, and I feel like sometimes when the wig looks almost too perfect and the parting is too perfect, it's almost like a giveaway. So I don't stress about the parting being too perfect, and I also don't like to go all the way back in the parting. I'll show you guys what I mean. See, so it's not like super perfect. I'm not really going for perfection. I'm just going for clean and natural. And the lace actually goes all the way back here, but I don't want to take it that far back. I don't really think that most people part their hair that far back. And again, I'm always trying to go for a look that's as natural as possible. And if I see any areas where I just kind of want to move the hair and manipulate it a little bit more, again, I try to do that with my comb or my brush and some water first before I go in with the blow dryer. Hopefully the blow dryer isn't too loud on here. Sorry if it is, guys. So now I'm going to go in with my blow dryer, and I'm just going to kind of set that into place and try to get it a little bit flatter. Let's see. There we go. All right. And I'm just going to kind of use the nozzle to direct the airflow where I want it to go. And I want it to go in like a diagonal back sort of angle back here, because again, I kind of like it when the wig is slightly lifted up here. I just think it gives a more natural finish. And again, I'm kind of just like going in and directing the air where I want it. I'm almost like ironing the hair with the blow dryer, if that makes sense. and I'm gonna go on to the other side. Oh my god, my blow dryer keeps disconnecting. Sorry, guys. We're almost done with the blow dryer anyways. Okay. Okay. And this is what we're working with now. There's a lot of flyaways, which is totally normal. Flyaways are very normal in just wig styling in general, but even for wigs. So to fix the flyaways, I'm gonna go in with my wax stick. And I never go on there directly like with the wax stick. I kind of, at least for right now, I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna grab some out of here and melt it with my fingers like this. And kind of just lay down those baby hairs like this. And I'm telling you, it lays them down so well. Look at this. You see that? And I find that this is so much better than hairspray because, first of all, it's a little more protected than a hairspray. Hairspray is alcohol based, which dries out the hair, and the wax stick is more of like a petroleum base, like a petroleum jelly kind of base, which is a natural protectant, which is great for hair in general. So there we go. You see how it laid all those little flyaways down? And it still looks really lightweight. I also don't like to put it directly on the hair because it tends to make it look a little bit greasy. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna use a different heat protectant since my water bottle with my leave-in that has a built-in leave-in doesn't want to work. So here's an alternative heat protectant that I absolutely love. I've been using this forever, and I think it's really great for wigs because it is oil-based. So it has that nice moisture. It's going to give it shine. What else is in here? Protects against frizz. It smooths, provides conditioning properties, and protects from the heat, leaving the hair silky and smooth. This is the Silk Elements Olive Heat Protection Spray. So I'm gonna spray that in. My God, y'all, I'm like running out of everything. My spray bottles don't want to work, but that's okay because I have a third heat protectant that I'm gonna whip out because I came prepared. This is another, and again, I'll have this all linked below. This is the Proclaim Heat Protectant. It's also a glossing polish. Again, it's great for eliminating frizz, shine, heat damage, and it has those natural oils in there that help strengthen the hair. And I just brought everything because I was like, you already know, you go live and whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So I came protected, I came prepared. So I'm just going to put that through everywhere. And if it feels like, gosh, that's a lot of product, won't the hair look greasy? I'm telling you, especially like when you have a wig that has been color processed, like this has obviously been color processed. We started with a color like this and then turned it into this. It just drinks up product. So initially it might look like, oh my God, it's kind of heavy. It looks a little greasy. I promise you that's not how it's going to look once it's styled. It's going to look shiny and healthy. All right. So now I'm going to take my boar bristle brush and just brush that through for even distribution. And just so you guys know, and you guys can let me know in the comments, what density do you guys prefer? This is our 130% density. It's pretty lightweight. It actually looks thicker on camera than it is. But this is what the ponytail looks like. And this is the ends. It's just very natural, lightweight wig. This is how it's looking so far with all the baby hair smoothed out and everything. Now I'm going to be grabbing my clips and we're going to be sectioning this off to make our styling a lot more manageable. So I like to go in with like some basic quadrants, right? So a quadrant, no, we're gonna do 3 sections. So I like to go in with my 2 front sections, which are basically here in the front area, and then I'm gonna go down to the ear. So it's this like whole front section right here, starting from the crown up here and then bringing it down to where the ear would be and sectioning that out, and that's going to be 1 section. I'm actually going to go a little bit further back. And I know I'm doing everything with my fingers. I've been doing this so long, sometimes I just don't use a comb, but if you need to use a comb, and I recommend you do, just to keep everything easier for you, you're going to go in and again just go all the way down. This is a lot harder to do on camera than it looks. So let's see. Let me try again. Okay. So I'm going to go in from the crown down to where the ear would be, and I'm going to take out this section right here, and I'm just going to clip it. And again, everything I use will be linked below once I post this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, starting from the crown and going down to about where the ear would be. And we're going to clip that out of the way. And then what we're left with is all of this here in the back. There we go. So what I'm going to do is, typically what I do is I just take sections. This is a lace front, so there are wefts in the back that make it kind of easier to section if you want to go like by row of track. This is what I mean by tracks. These are the tracks in the back. So there are rows. There are about 20 or 30 rows of these tracks all the way throughout the wig up until about here. And then the rest of this up here is lace. So this is about, oops. This is about, let's see, it's still a little bit too much hair. So I'm going to section out a little bit less here. So I'm going to start with a section about this big. And if you are going by tracks, I would say maybe like 3 or 4 tracks at a time. These are single, these are single wefted tracks. 1, 3, 4 tracks. So I'm just gonna have about this much hair out. And then I'm gonna take the rest of this and I'm going to clip it up out of the way. So it should look something like this. So you have the 2 sections in the front, and then you have 1 in the back that you will be taking out hair from. So pretty simple. This is my basic styling sectioning for almost every single wig that I style wavy like this. Oh, it would have been really helpful if I had turned on my if I had turned this wand on a while ago. The cool thing is that this heats up so fast, so we're not gonna have to wait very long. You see that? That's the cool thing about this. I've had this wand for like 7 years. They still sell it too, so that's how you know it's good. All right. So a rule of thumb for styling is you don't really want to take a section that's larger than the barrel that you're using. So as you can see here, this section is about the size of my barrel here, which is perfect. And I like to, the direction matters. I mean, yes and no. I mean, obviously, if there's a specific look that you have in mind, then the direction that you angle your wand is going to matter. But generally, what I like to do is, and I'm going to lower this temperature to about, I'm going to do like 330. I don't really recommend doing anything hotter than that, just to preserve the integrity of the hair. And I lost my train of thought. I was saying something. Don't remember. Oh, right. Okay. But generally, I like to curl the hair away from the face. So, you know, the curls going this way on this side and this way on this side. So it's kind of away from the face. That's what we're going to be doing today, at least. And generally, that is how most of our wigs are styled. If you look at our Instagram and if you look at our product pages on our website, that's generally how our wigs are styled. So that's what we're going to do today. So our wand is hot and ready. It only took a few seconds, thank God. And I'm just going to go in. Hopefully you guys can see this. And I'm going to take my section again. Like, you don't want to grab something that's too big for the barrel. And then I'm going to go in downward because I want the hair to be away from the face. So I'm going to curl it under the barrel. Under the barrel. Is that under the barrel? Hold it there for a couple seconds. Make sure not to burn your little fingers. These do come with the little finger gloves if you want those. And boom, that's our first curl. And we're just basically going to do that along the entire head. So I'm going to take one more section here right next to this one. And we're going to kind of pretend that there is an invisible line all the way down the wig. Because again, remember I said I like one section going this way and the other one going that way. So we're going to pretend that there's like a line all the way down here. And so this section is going to be going this way, this section, and this section is going to be going this way. Okay, so you want to keep that in mind when you're styling. So I'm taking this section, since it is on this side, is on my right side, and we're going to be going over, is that over the barrel to the, because the curls are going right, they're going right. Yes, they're curving this way. They're going toward the right. No, they're going toward. I'm confusing myself because the camera is one way and I'm another way and I'm in the back of the wig. Anyways, they're curled away from the face. That's what I know for sure. I'm gonna go over here to this side, and then we're going to start with these sections here. And then we're gonna do the same thing, but on the other side. So we're going, I guess this would be over the barrel, right? Over the barrel. I'm asking y'all, like I'm not the one teaching this. And then I just kind of hold it there for a little bit. You don't have to hold it there too long. I don't recommend holding it there too long. So you're gonna go over the barrel all the way around. I know they sell, if you guys are afraid of using a wand, I know they sell those little gloves that you can wear, those little thermal gloves. I've never used them, partially because I've been doing this for a really long time and I just don't really care anymore. So this is how our little curls are looking so far. So I'm basically just going to do that along the rest of the wig. So now I'm going to drop down another section. And you want to make sure it's not too big and it's also not too small, because you don't want to be here forever. Like, I don't want to be here for another hour curling this wig, you know what I mean? So I think that, let's see. I think that should be good. We could probably drop down one more track here. Yeah, I think that's perfect. And then I'm just gonna twist up this section here, just like that. And then I'm gonna put some extra heat protectant on this section here, just in case it didn't get any from the initial application. I'm running out of this product. And then I'm just gonna brush it through. Again, like it's gonna look almost greasy, you know, but I'm telling you, once you actually style it and you put the hot tool through it and everything, it just drinks it up. Because you have to remember, wig hair doesn't get the natural oils from our scalp the way bio hair does. So you just want to keep that in mind. Like it's going to drink up the oil that you put in there because it doesn't produce its own, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take my section, and again, pointing the barrel down toward the floor, and I'm going to go over and wrap it and just kind of hold the end there. You don't have to worry about wrapping the end completely. And I hold it there for about 5 seconds. And then what I like to do is kind of like press it down to, I don't know, like puff out the curl. If that's it's not the best way to, that's the only way I can explain it. So we're gonna go in. This is just gonna be super repetitive now, guys. But I know that learning is very repetitive, so this is just gonna be me doing the same thing over and over again. I wonder if people are writing anything in the chat. I don't know, I can't see the chat, so I'm not sure. I kind of like pull it down. Let's see if we can do, I remember there's like an invisible line here. So whatever's in the middle, there's a dividing line. So just remember that one side is going in one